Hi guys, the sun is in my eyes, but I really wanted to make this video today. Just as a review, my name is Sharon and I'm a scientist. I'm a material scientist, and essentially I wanted to make a YouTube channel because I wanted to talk about my experience as a Latina in science, in STEM, and I'm on a journey to do my PhD, and I just want to, I guess, work on not being so awkward. And I figured forcing myself by like making these videos will help, and I just wanted to share my experience and also talk about things I really like. So today I really my last video on yoga pants, I had brought up that I wanted to talk about an experience. So last year my friend got to go, like through her lab, got to go to the Nobel Prize awards here near Switzerland. And I was like, wow, that's so cool, like I really want to be able to do that one day. And she was like, posting pictures, and she was like, I got to meet like my hero, like the people that got me into science and everything. And I just thought that it was interesting because I never really, like growing up, I never really had a scientist that I really looked up to, like once I got into college and I started to learn about like Carl Sagan, like I was just like, wow, there's a lot of cool scientists. But growing up, it was like, especially I guess like as an immigrant and like maybe as a Latina immigrant, there wasn't really any scientists like that I knew about, and I guess part of it is, as well as you're trying to integrate into this different society, so being able to like have idols from your own country was kind of just like, I don't know, maybe it made it harder to connect with America, like with the people in the US. So that doesn't mean I didn't have scientists that I really liked, but they were all fictional or like based on or like fictional representations, let's say. And I just wanted to go over them because I'm like, you know what? Even if like, it's awesome if growing up you have scientists that you look up to and that get you into science, but also it's okay if you don't realistically look at a scientist and be like, you are the reason I got into this. Like, I think that passion should come from whatever environment, as long as it's cultivated. So because as awesome as it was to see my friend meet her idols, I don't want to be like, I'm never gonna go to I'm gonna feel so uncomfortable going to the Nobel Prize like ceremony, because fingers crossed I get to go one day. But I'm just like, I want to be able to go there and have a good time and not have to be like, oh, I don't have anyone that I look up to. Like, there's a respect, but it's just like, there's not really a scientist where I can like really truthfully state, you're the reason I got into it. So my list, I'm gonna start top one list is Dana Scully. She is the reason I got into STEM in the first place. And what's interesting is like, I loved her, but I also didn't know that it was like this whole phenomena of having her on TV in such a popular show too. Like, there was a boom of women scientists, and I'm just like, that's so amazing. I loved how pragmatic she was, and I like growing up, because the first time I was in Guatemala, and the first episode I see that I get introduced to is the Chupacabra episode. And in Guatemala, like, I was watching it, like my uncle was watching it late at night, and I couldn't sleep, so I like kind of snuck into like the living room and I was watching with him, and it was horrifying. But I remember watching it, and I remember seeing how how Dana wasn't quick to believe, you know, like Mulder was just like, I will believe anything and everything you throw at me, and she was more apprehensive, rightfully so. And that approach she took, I found it so interesting. And then, you know, like once I started watching the show more, I'm just like, I love her, and because of her, I would say I really got into science. And then my second one is Dr. Ellie Arroway, which I'm not sure if everyone's familiar. She's from Contact, the movie Contact. It's still, to me, one of my favorite movies like ever made. I thought it was really beautiful. Again, like having a woman scientist, you know, and seeing how passionate she was, to me was like a really big deal. And then maybe like, this is for everyone, but Dr. Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park, icon behavior all the way through. And then Barbie. I know like you guys are gonna be like, what? But when we were younger, my sister and I used to read all of like the Barbie books because we were obsessed with reading, and we were obsessed with her like Barbie career books. So she would be like a doctor, a surfer, like a paleontologist was like her top fave one. And it was so cool being able to see all like, yeah, like the whole point is that she's all pretty, and of course like let's not like forget like the body just like dysmorphia that came with like looking up to Barbie, but her books, like being able to see her do all these careers and like her being a doctor and everything, it was really cool. And it really inspired me. And then Sandy, like she's insane. Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob, I love her. She was a lot. And then for like as I got older, I would say like my last were like Dr. Tempest Brennan from Bones. I loved her a lot, especially because I was so awkward in seeing her and her having trouble like with like social cues and everything. I thought was just like really like, oh my god, it's okay to be awkward. And my last two are like Abby and Garcia. I love them both. I really like Garcia. For the longest time I thought she was Hispanic, so I was just like Latina icon, but then it was like her stepdad is Latino, and that's how she has the last name Garcia. But yeah, hopefully we get to have more Latinas in science. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting story to share. If you guys feel like sharing your science icons that are either make-believe or real, like go for it. And yeah, so I think my next video after this is I love my dog. Like I always want to talk about my dog. It's insane, but no one ever wants to hear. So I'm gonna make a video about my dog, who we named after a character from Charmed, and how we came across and adopted the saddest looking boy in the world. Okay, bye guys.